Good evening, Sunday night. How you doing out there in Twitch world, in the VOD world? So this evening is not going to be as visually look at that guy. Speaking of visually appealing, man, man, look at you all cleaned up. You got a job interview, or you trying to impress me? What are you doing there?
My head was hot. Like, no lie, that's all it was. I was very hot. I have a head
No,
cold.
now you're hot. Look at you. All
Trying to
well
hold himself
trimmed
a
and
new
everything.
character.
Did you get a haircut too?
No, I'm having an amazing hair day today for the
You
first
are
time in like
having an
22 years.
amazing hair day. Kat, are you seeing this?
See it.
Man, the viewership just skyrocketed up to 4.
Do we have more now?
Oh, so we have a few people that are having camera issues, and then one that's traveling tonight on their way home from a convention show type situation. So we don't have all the cameras on tonight, but hey, we're still planning on role playing. We're still planning on having a good time. It is Curse of Strahd Sunday night. It is the replacements, and we gonna get right to it. Unless anyone has really anything they need to say or add real quick.
I know next week I may not be able to join. No, I
Okay.
probably won't be joining next week at all.
Okay.
I will make sure my character sheet's posted for someone to grab and run.
Okay. That's appreciated. Um, Only announcement I have is that I have officially hit 100 dice sets, which is a big deal for me. I've been trying to get close to that 100 mark, and now I am exactly at 100. But I have a couple sets that are out there in the mail system and Amazon system on their way here. Um, I also I also recently purchased a set of concrete dice. Um, I'm really interested in seeing these. Mama said she was just gonna go outside and chip off some concrete and make some for me, but I kind of wanted them done professionally. This same maker does terracotta. You know how cool it would be to have a set of terracotta dice. I mean, obviously not
until
for rolling. What?
until you
That'd
drop
be
it.
really pretty.
Well, that's
Yeah.
why you don't. Those are for display only. It's kind of like the bone dice that I have being made. Um, I will roll them one time on a mat, and then they will go in a display case. Um, it's kind of like people who collect swords. You can't really use gun collectors because gun collectors will go out there and shoot their guns numerous times. Um, but like somebody who has a sword collection, it's not like they can go out there and really use the sword all the time. I think
I have everything.
one time you end up in prison. So
One of these days, we will live in a society where I can walk around with my sword on my hip again.
right.
I can't remember exactly where. I know one state in the U.S. actually has it fully legal to wield a sword in public.
That would be fun.
Hey,
We,
we're
we
moving.
Hey, Cat is visual now. Right on. Her computer finally loaded. What do you know?
I just can't remember which state it is. I want to say Idaho.
I think it's as
I
long
think
as
it's
you're
Idaho or Iowa. I think it's one of the I states.
I don't think it's
for sure.
Idaho because Mr. Morgan lives up in Idaho, and if he was allowed to wield a sword, I'm sure he would.
I honestly think you can because
Really?
they walk around with hunting knives. We are in open carry state, so as long as you're not concealed,
They got to do whatever they can to try and get people to move to Idaho.
Right?
Yeah.
dude.
True story. True story. I mean, it makes me want to move there just knowing that I could walk around open carry with a broadsword. I have a couple swords. I mean, that'd be kind of cool just to walk around with a sword.
Listen, we had a guy down here rob a fast food restaurant by throwing an alligator through the window. I'm pretty sure you can do whatever you want to it.
Yeah, because like I said, you can carry an 8-inch hunting knife on your hip and downtown with it.
Wow. Yeah, you couldn't do that here in Missouri. They'd break out a tape measure and be like, excuse me? No, that is well over a 4-inch blade. So
Oh,
Yeah,
You could do it
shoot.
once.
So I guess
You're gonna
I
carry
guess
a
when it
sword
comes
in New
to
York for a while.
I guess that when it comes to blades, size matters.
Yes.
Wow, that just dead air. So let's play D&D. Kat, you got a recap? We're just gonna let that one go.
Maybe.
Is that on the computer that won't load?
No, I wrote it all down. I just had to find where I put it.
Oh, okay.
Packing everything up. I've been like moving
Honey,
stuff
call it
around.
button.
Last week was kind of a shopping.
Yeah,
It was. It was a lot of shopping
Majority
at
of
the
it
end.
was shopping, and then there was a little bit of hanging out at dinner, a little bit of up in the individual rooms, finding some different things, and then there was Kurz, who we're gonna start with, who the cat went prowling and wandering around the castle late at night instead of being in his room where he was supposed to be. Probably went looking
for cow salt.
I figured you were looking for a litter box. But same difference, right?
You never know there.
Did you find it yet, Kat?
I did, yes.
Okay.
So I have how we were trying to convince Strahd that Baba Yaga is actually trying to kill him. And so he was like, "Hey, if you can kill her and give me her head, I'll give you the stuff you need for it. And we can get Argynvost's head for Baba Yaga's head. So that's the most important part. And then yeah, and at this point, everybody else is kind of wandering around, seeing what we can find. We've covered everything in the rooms to make sure nobody can peek in on us. Mr. Bellevue. Oh, no, not everybody. That's right. Morgan didn't cover his stuff.
Nope.
Other than that,
And I set up a booby trap in mine. If he peeps in mine, he go get poked in the eyeballs.
Kurz set up a pretty handy trap himself. See what I did there? You see what I did there?
poke him in the eye.
So it begins.
So it begins.
And I put stuff over the windows too. Stuff over all the pictures too. So
Yes. Yep.
Joe, not Cat.
And you two went into the same room. Esmeralda went into Tobias's room, and Tobias left her alone in there. So let's start with Kurz. Kurz, you were wandering the halls because it's not like you got a map at the kiosk at the front of the castle or at the entrance to the amusement park. You are in there. You were walking around. The floor you were on is a very long hallway with lots of rooms, lots of doors into rooms. You know that the first 7 rooms are your guys's, but there were 2 more rooms after that before the open door into the library. Before your guys' rooms was a stairwell that kept going upwards. There did not appear to be anything else on this floor other than the stairs going further up, stairs going down, the 9 doors, and then the library. At the end of the hallway, there is a massive window looking out over a cliffside. Occasionally, you do see lightning flashing. You'll hear the thunder. Just a few seconds afterwards, you could try to go back to science class and start counting the Mississippis in between each one, but
What is a Mississippi?
a Mississippi, that is when you hold up your cup and you miss the sippy. You no? Okay.
It fits well with his shirt day.
There you go. That's funny because mine today is the dice giveth and the dice taketh away.
Uh-oh.
So, it's not what the BBEG would say though. So you should be okay. You're in his castle.
You can't take much from a natural one.
You can't take much away from a natural one. You really can't. There are no negative integers in D&D. Man, thank God. Can you imagine the math we would have had to have done when we were younger trying to play D&D with Thaco and everything else? Trying to figure out all the negatives and stuff. It was already rough enough. Just for you kids. Armor class used to go down. Your armor class, like the best armor class you could ever imagine having was like a -5 armor class. Ask Grandpa. Grandpa will explain to you how it worked, okay? So go ask Grandpa.
Okay, SETI.
It was called Thaco.
Thaco. I will argue with you on that till you crit fail.
Yep. Here, let me find a good one for you.
Yeah, it was Thaco. It was 2-hit armor class 0. And it didn't really, back then people didn't really argue over how to pronounce it because everybody hated it. It was horrible. But that's why older D&D players are really good at math. Because we had to be. We actually had to carry around a freaking chart of just how to hit each other. Oh wow, that's an old one.
-2?
Yeah, -2 armor class. Yeah. Anyway, so you're in this hallway, Kurz. It's a pretty long hallway, and you got stairs at one end, a window at the other, with the library that Tobias is in the library. None of the rest of you went. No. Talon went to the library right away. Also, so I don't believe Belivar went to the library first. I thought you did some stuff in your room.
He stayed in his room. He
found that safe corner, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's hiding behind a dresser.
Well, that's better than hiding behind an undresser.
The only safe space without prying eyes.
So,
if I could have, I would have had darkness all night long, but nope, I can't cast it and have it last for 8 hours.
Dude, that's an interesting idea, though. We need to start thinking of I like this idea of, I know I haven't even told you what the idea is, but you're supposed to be reading my mind right now. Hey, there's a spell called Delayed Blast Fireball, right? Well, why couldn't you have like a delay timer or a timer delay? I know there's wards and stuff like that, and wards are set off by somebody walking up to them. But what if you could create, and maybe there is already, a delay trigger for different spells, like darkness and stuff like that? That'd be kind of cool.
I think there is.
You think there is?
There's like there's something I forget, but I read about it a while back, where it's like a rune or something that you put on the ground or something, and then either a word or like a tripwire activates, and it sets off the spell. I don't remember what it's called because I looked this up like over a year ago, but I recall something like that, like a rune or a stone, a special magic stone or something. Like it'll play a message, it'll trip a spell, something like that.
I like it. Thanks, Cordelia. So we need to look into that because Belivar, that'd be very useful for you to be able to have like a timer to where you could set up, a darkness spell that goes off, and then, when that one runs out, another one goes off to where it could keep you in darkness.
For like places like this, that would be a good idea.
I'm not saying it would be cheap for you to have, however many stones you need, but it'd be kind of cool.
Well, you can have it so it just pops on whenever somebody does trigger it, though.
Yeah, that too.
Instead of having it run constantly.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, back to Kurz. What exactly are you doing, Kurz, as you're in this hallway? I know you said you were going to sneak around, but are you going upstairs? Because you know that as you were led upstairs by Bellevue, by Cyrus Bellevue, that you were led up to the 3rd floor. I also want to mark anyone who is like, hold it, Castle Ravenloft. Okay, stop it. I did not like the layout of that castle. So this is a better layout. Just saying. What are you doing, Kurz? What are you looking for?
Nothing too much in particular. I would like to find the way down into the I don't know if mausoleum is the best word.
Okay. So you'll need
I would be opening doors and just looking for things. Probably nothing on this floor.
Okay.
But to go back downstairs and just kind of start looking around a little bit.
Okay. So you'll go back down to the main floor, and why don't you give me give me an investigation.
Because I'm not good at it.
Well, as a tabaxi, do you have any types of bonuses to any type of searches?
For yarn.
No.
Okay.
That is a 9.
A 9. Okay. So when you get to the base of the stairs, you know that the chapel is to your left. The entrance you came in through is to your right. Straight ahead was the hallway to the dining room. Because of Tobias, the bathroom is also to the left, and right before the chapel, or the privy, whatever you want to call it. Obviously, the entrance to the mausoleum is not to the right, because that's the entrance to the castle itself. So that leaves you going towards the dining hall area, or headed towards the chapel area.
I would slowly head toward the chapel area, and as I am going, I will take a piece of parchment from my bag.
Okay.
And take my quill and my ink that I have that is invisible until it's moonlight, and just start mapping out as I go.
Okay.
Just kind of a rough map.
Gotcha. Okay. And you said you're headed towards which one?
Toward the chapel.
Towards the chapel. Okay. And are you opening every single door you come by, or just certain doors that tickle your fancy?
I would say I would first look to see if any were trapped. And if so, those are the ones I would like to try to disarm and go through.
Okay.
Maybe not go through, but just open up and see what's inside.
Okay. None of the ones you're coming to so far have been trapped. There have been a few doors that have been locked, though.
I would mark that on my map and maybe investigate a little further on my way back to my room.
Okay. I need you to give me a stealth roll.
That I can do. It is a 22.
Okay.
Oh, I also have all of my items that were given to me this night in
Okay.
my Baba Yaga bag.
Okay. In your Baba Yaga bag. Gotcha. It's
A bag of Baba.
the the Baba Yaga bag does smell faintly of campfire. Faintly. Mainly because you guys tried to burn it, but whatever works. Right before the chapel, you do find a door that is locked, but you also are able to see that it's trapped. Because you said you were looking for this, that's the only reason, But it is definitely trapped, but it is also locked. And it is right before the chapel itself.
Let us try to disarm the trap first.
Okay. Let us roll that. What you eating, Morgan?
What would you like?
That would be sleight of hands. Stacy's.
It would be
Okay.
21.
Ooh,
21.
pita chip.
I have one of my claws fashioned into a key and another one fashioned into a scissors. It's like a Swiss Army claws. That is not
Yep,
canon.
face palm.
Oh, man.
Army pause. Very useful.
Yeah.
Did I give you pause?
You did. You gave me pause. You did. Give me a dex check. Dex save. Sorry, dex save.
It is a 19.
Okay. As you are able to jump back, several needles shoot out from around the door. And you are
Matrix on it.
pulling matrix on it. You are barely able to escape the majority of the needles. You do feel a couple slice into you, a couple split some hairs, and you take 4 damage from these, and these are very fine needles. These are not like barbs or anything like that. They're very fine needles. I now need a Constitution save.
would be a 17.
Okay. You know you have mere moments before you're going to have to lay down and go to sleep.
This is no good.
Where would you like to be when you finally close your eyes? And not necessarily where you're going to make it to. Where would you like to be before you close your eyes? Where do you head towards?
I would head toward the chapel, maybe
Okay.
for a pew. But may I ask, is this a poison condition?
It is a poison condition. Are you immune or do you get advantage?
I can use a key point and place a
Okay.
hand of healing on myself to remove the poisoning.
Okay. Okay. Do so then. Because otherwise you're going to take a cat nap.
It is done.
It is done. Okay. Yeah, you felt the poison start to surge, and you knew that you were tired. You could feel it almost immediately that, man, this was stuff that was going to put you to sleep for a little while. So you do your little thing where you put your paws together and just, yeah, whatever it is to channel that key energy, and that poison starts seeping out of your pores, almost like sweat. And you were able to.
I don't think it was pronounced kiki.
You'd probably want it to be a little quieter than that.
It is in my head.
Oh, okay.
That is what it sounds like.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Okay. Trying to get the key, so you're going key. I like that. On that note, Danny himself, there is a character on the alternate Tuesday nights. She is not an Arakakra. She is yeah, she's a Kinko. She's a Kinku. And her name is Kiki. Can you imagine if you guys met and you chased after her? Her being
I actually can, because he's a kinku, like a black, almost like a raven. And
Yeah.
me and ravens don't really.
No,
so
not really.
it'll be interesting.
And go figure, she's a blood hunter, so you know. Yeah, I don't think you two would be able to get along very well. Okay, so you know that you've beat this trap, that it's not going to put you to sleep. The door has been successfully detrapped, successfully in the fact that you set it off. It's still locked, though.
I would like to try and change that.
Okay. Give me that sleight of hand.
With your lockpick claws.
That is no good. That is a 9.
Yeah, you are not able. Which it makes sense. You start thinking about it that, you know, this door was trapped. It's probably going to be a little harder for me to unlock. Do you want to come back to it in a little while, or do you want to go to a different door? What do you want to do, sir?
I would like to continue on to the chapel.
Okay. Why don't you give me one more stealth as you walk away from this door after that and into the chapel?
That would be a 30.
A 30. Well then, you enter the chapel so quietly, so stealthily that you don't even realize you enter the chapel. Okay, I mean you were that quiet. But you do see towards the front of the chapel there is a hooded figure along with three females that are clearly not necessarily alive. Their backs are to you. The person in the robe, they are facing towards you. And they don't even see you. Their eyes are somewhat glazed over. But it looks like they're doing some type of ritual to these three women that are standing there. The women look very similar somewhat in the fact that they all look similar to Irina, Tatiana, Strahd's type.
O negative.
Yes, that is his type. O negative. Universal donator. Universal donor. Yeah, donor. Not donator, but donor. Before we go to someone else, anything else you're doing, sir?
Just trying to be as concealed as I can and just
With that 30, you could literally like just sit, you could almost walk up to them with that 30.
I would like to be close enough to hear anything, but also close enough to the door, just in case I need to, what they say, boogie.
Boogie. Gotcha. Okay. We will now skip over to is Tobias ready to talk about the library?
Sure.
Okay, Tobias. Let's pull you up here. What exactly are you doing in the library with the books that you found, sir? One of which
the two books
was the tome of Strahd, and then you also found the book, the Daughters of the Children of Baba Yaga.
I want to look through the Daughters of Baba Yaga first.
Okay, let me pull that up, sir. Okay. It is cracked leather covered. Um, Not that you care, but it reeks of mildew and iron. It is roughly 128 pages, some of which are missing. Um, it is writ in a mixture of common with a little bit of Barovian slang in there, and there is some abyssal in there. Flipping through it, you see that it is a distorted genealogical journal detailing her offspring, some literal and some symbiotic. You see that there's talk of a crow-tongued boy. There are twin dolls. Some mire-toothed beast. There's one that talks about a little sister. And the last chapter talks about the boy who would be king. Majority of that chapter on the boy who would be king is missing. An excerpt from it is that he was the first the mother loved and the first she would lose. She wept at his cradle, though he knew it not, for the fates had already braided his doom. His name was sung among the reeds, and the marsh bore him many gifts. Strength, cunning, blood that would not still. He would not call her mother, but still she called him son. It talks about how she blessed him in secret. It implies that his eventual fall into vampirism was accelerated by her influence. You can tell that she truly believes he is her soul son. What else are you looking for? What'd you say, sir?
Not Soul Son as in SOUL, not SOLE.
Yes, SOUL.
All right. All right. Is there basically I was looking for any book on her about that would indicate any kind of weakness she has, something we could exploit to.
Okay. There's another book in there. Hold on.
Is there a copy of Hags and How to Destroy Them?
I mean, there's a book about hags, but you don't want that one.
Or specifically, I'm looking for Monster Slayer issue 38, volume 17. There's an article on page 34.
Is there? Let me check that up real quick.
I'm not sure if he's being serious or being a wise ass.
Yeah, he reads that for the articles.
I was gonna say, who are you asking?
I mean, the way he says it, you could think he's being serious about it.
Which means he's being a smart ass.
It's Carl. He has that issue somewhere in that room.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Okay. You do find something that talks about a witch bane charm. It is a necklace that grants advantages on saves versus hag spells. Give me a wisdom roll.
All right. Let's see my wisdom score. Just regular wisdom or arcana? No, arcana is intelligence. Wisdom, let's see. Gonna be a plus 18 total.
Okay. You would need arcana to figure it out, but wisdom to be able to figure out if there is something. So you figure that if there's a witchbane charm, then there has to be witchbane. There has to be a way to get a hold of witchbane or create witchbane or something like that. If there was ever a charm, it came from somewhere. So you're looking for something called witchbane. Let's jump over to we'll just keep going down the row. Okay? Let's jump over to Joe. Joe, you and your new friend Cordelia are in a room together. What are you doing?
I am reading the letter I found.
Okay. And did I send you a copy of that letter?
Yes, I'm trying to pull it up. Yes.
I thought I had. I wasn't positive. That's why I was asking. There you are. Do you want me to read it for you, or do you want to read it to her? Do you want me to read it to her? Do you want me to read it out loud for everyone? What would you like to do?
I can read it. I'll
Okay.
read it to her.
I didn't know if you'd found it yet. Okay, go ahead.
I found it. It says, Tatiana, I pray this finds you, though I know it may not. There's little time and fewer allies. You must listen. He is not what he once was. Strahd is no longer the man who walked our halls with honor in his heart. Something has hollowed him out. His love for you has twisted into something sharp and unkind. He believes it is devotion, but it is hunger. He watches you, always, even when you think you are alone. He speaks softly, but his eyes are loud with fire and fear. He does not understand love, not truly. He has mistaken possession for affection. He means to keep you forever. If you leave, do not look back. If you stay, he will bury the world to keep you in his grasp. He would damn kingdoms to ash before releasing your hand. I have seen him do terrible things in silence. I have heard screams behind locked doors. He hides these things from you, but not from us. Tatiana, please run. Please. Do not let him turn your love into a tomb. I could not protect you, I see that now. But if you read this, know someone tried. With all that remains of my hope, yours, in the shadow of the sun. But I don't know who that is, or do I know who that is?
Nope.
I'm assuming she read that quietly, right? Not out loud.
No, I read it to you.
Oh, I was wondering who the she was, because I think I went to bed before. Did I go to bed before you found them?
Yeah, you went to bed before.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna wake you up and be like, hey, I found this letter to Tatiana.
Well, I don't think I actually would have fallen asleep. I probably would have like cleaned an instrument, one of my instruments or something. But okay. Well, now we know
Is
that
that what we call it
Tatiana wasn't
nowadays?
alone. I mean, this proves that she had friends and she wasn't alone. The question is, did these people survive before and get out before it was too late? This person.
I don't know. I don't know who it is.
And where did you find it again? In this room?
Yeah, I found it in the room. I went searching around in all the drawers and everything like that. I also found a guest book.
Okay.
You want to
Well, you
know
can.
what it says in the guest book, or do you want to
Sure,
try to figure
that's
out?
fine. But
Okay.
I just want to
Well, in
say
the
we can be assured that Strahd does not know this is here because I don't think he would leave anything like this. You know what I mean? He'd probably burn it in anger or something. But go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah, I don't think he knows that the letter was here. So the guest book is like a bunch of dead nobles. Um, he says it's bound in dark red leather with tarnished silvered corners. Um, some of the signatures are fresh, like they were freshly written, and others are hardly able to see. It's honored guests of Ravenloft. Let none say they came unwelcomed, which, it's fairly welcoming here. Um, it says it spans over 4 centuries, so it's all of these years. Um, some of them have cryptic notes written in different hands, like left before midnight. It was good. Refused the wine. Disappeared after supper. Danced with the count. Never seen again. So some of the people has their names, but we know that nothing came of it, or they just disappeared. Um,
I mean,
some of the right, some of the more like notable entries, Lord Vasali Erevan, in honor to be welcomed so graciously, I hope our trade agreement fruit, fruitful. So they traded in something. Lady Alenka of Berez, the music was divine. I would gladly stay longer, but the howling disturbs my rest. So there might be some type of howling. Sir Genric Durov, as I sign the book, I feel a chill in my bones. I pray this is the cold and nothing more. Countess Ferreira Martikal, the wine was exquisite, the host even more so. Uh, there's only a blood stain where the name should be. There's a child's signature, barely legible. The ink is smudged, but beneath it in Strahd's hand, it says he screamed beautifully.
mm,
Uh, right? Sergei Vanzarovich, his name appears once with a short note, home at last. It's the only entry with Strahd's handwriting besides his own and the one just above it. And Lady Watcher's grandmother, signed elegantly. May my daughters serve well. Beneath it, faintly, he promised us everything. It sounds like she sold her kids or her
did you
daughters.
say it sounds like the soul of her daughters? Ooh,
Yeah, right?
so it was a trade. It was a barter. I wonder if that's something similar that was bartered by with that one of those last entries you did, you read.
The kid where he screamed beautifully.
No, wasn't there one before that you said they traded something?
Oh, the trade agreement proves fruitful. Yeah,
Yeah. What do you suppose that trade agreement's about is the question.
I
Did you
have
get to the last
no
page of the
idea.
book?
Yeah, those are the most notable ones that we noticed in there. Otherwise, those
You
we
didn't
don't
see
know
our name in it.
anybody else. No, we haven't signed
Okay.
it.
Okay. You probably shouldn't. Just
No,
saying. No, I
right?
don't. I don't. I
Just
don't
to be
think
safe.
so. Yes, and you said they said that it was a pleasure staying there, but for a lot of them it didn't stay that way. Um, So I want to know what that trade agreement's about.
I have no idea. I know some library, so do you want to go to the library to see if we can find what the trade agreement's about, or do you want to try to figure out who wrote the letter?
Well, we might be able to find both. You know what? Let me see the book and the letter, and if you give them to me, what I'll do is I'll see if we can well, I'll say let's go through the book and see if we can maybe find a signature that matches the handwriting. To see if perhaps whoever stayed here was one of Strahd's guests at the same time that she was. Did you find? Did you possibly find her name in the book?
Well, it says Lady Watcher's grandmother, so I don't know exactly who that is. But the other trade agreement was the Lord Vasali Er Er Eraven. I don't know how to say that.
Yeah. So what I'm thinking is the letter. We don't know who that is. You said the Watcher's granddaughter, right? What
Yeah.
if we don't know much about Tatiana either? So just idea here. What if Tatiana and this friend of hers stayed with Strahd and signed the book as guests? And that's why I'm wondering if maybe we can find her actual name by comparing signatures. And then we can also go to the
Oh,
library, but it might take us like, I don't know how long it would take us to just flip through real quick and see any that sort of match to get a guess. Is my thought.
okay.
But the
We can
library's a
definitely
good
try
idea
that.
too. So
Yeah. Betty, are we able to find any signatures that match the letter?
The letter from her. Let me see.
I mean, as a writer, I don't know if I mean, I know I wouldn't have advantage, but as a writer, I might know the flow of, a pen better.
Yeah, with handwriting and everything.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna mute for a second. And then as to the rest of the book, while he's doing that, we might be able to find information on the trade agreements in the library. If there's any, like, I don't know if they would be in the library, depending on how long ago it was. Like, how that far back were the trade agreements? Years? Hundreds of years? You said it's how many centuries?
Yeah, well, it goes back. The book itself goes back. Hold on. Yeah. So that name could be anywhere in there.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we'll see. Probably should see, like, if we can find out a time frame within, like, 50 years or so that might help us with our search in the library.
True.
Give me investigation rolls.
I really wish I could roll my real dice right now, but that is not possible.
Right. I got a 14.
Would you mind rolling for me, and I'll tell you what my thing is?
On the dice, you got an 18.
Dang.
Okay, so my investigation is a +3.
Okay.
So it'll be a 21. Thank you, Kat.
So, Joe, you were pretty sure that it was Lady Marcella von Breck, but then as you started pointing it out to Cordelia, she confirmed, yeah, I mean, that's almost, the way the swoop of the M and the way the final letter trails off of the signature, you guys are almost positive that it was Marcella.
Okay. What was the last name again?
Lady Marcella von Brecht.
And was there any notation under her name or anything? And on top of that, do we look back and forward a page or so and see if we can find Tatiana's name?
With your role, yeah, I'll say that looking back a little bit further, you do see that Tatiana and Lady Marcella were there roughly around the same time period. At least, for that event.
That meeting. Okay. So, well, now we know who the writer is. That's good.
Yeah.
Perhaps we should, when we leave here, find out what's happened to her. Maybe she might have some insight on exactly what happened and some of he who shall not be named problem.
Well, do we know if she's even still around?
Well, that's the thing. She signed it and she left a letter, so I'm assuming she left alive. Now, whether she...
Yeah, I don't think she's still alive. That would have been 400 years ago. If she wrote a letter to Tatiana. Yeah, she's not still around.
If she's still alive, I don't think you want to talk to her.
No, well,
Okay.
I mean, maybe.
She could have kids and grandkids. If we looked them up, maybe she left a journal or something. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if this is still here, just a thought.
there might be something left by her in the library. Okay, I also have a mirror that shows like 100 years ago. Can I see what was in the mirror? If I can see anybody in the mirror?
Yes.
Oh yeah, does it show this room and what's in the mirror?
Yeah.
But only 100 years ago, not 400
Not
years
400
ago.
years ago, but 100 years ago.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, but 100 is still something, so I'm going to mute, guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. The room, as you look in this mirror and look around the room, it is richly decorated. Deep red and gold tapestries, soft velvet chairs, a writing desk stacked with letters, and a young noblewoman sits at the vanity, brushing her hair, pausing as if she hears someone approaching. But no one enters. You then see a shadow move at the window. And that's
But
what
we're
you
on
see.
the 3rd floor, right?
Yep.
Okay. There was obviously a lot of letters. Is there any painting?
Anything.
Yeah, is there any paintings that show this young lady that I'm able to make a connection to?
No, you haven't seen any that resemble her or anything.
Okay.
What does she look like? Sorry. Like,
She's definitely not Strahd's type. She doesn't have the reddish auburn hair. She is more, if anything, she looks like a Martikov. I mean, she has very dark blackish hair. I'm not saying she is a Martikov, but I mean, she She has very black, very, very dark black hair. Almost an olive complexion.
Ingrain her face into our memory. I know it was 100 years ago, but if she has any children or grandchildren also who might look similar to her, you know,
Yeah.
just someone take a really good look and like try and memorize her face.
Okay. And as you guys are doing that, let's jump down to Talon. Belivar, I'm sorry you're at the bottom, sir.
All good.
Talon, sir.
All I'm doing is sleeping.
Yeah, this is true. You are sleeping. Talon, you also were in the library. And I mean, this is not some kind of massive library, but it's a decent sized library. Roughly the size of 2 bedrooms. You know, it's probably a good 20 by 40 almost. You know, somewhere right around there. So there's a couple different rows of bookshelves in here.
So last time I got the letters from the Reformation Center.
Yes.
I want to see if any of the names. Actually, I want to kind of start over to see if the Reformation Center actually started off properly, or like they had good intentions of keeping people from marching on Strahd. Like maybe they knew that we need to keep this guy kind of here without everybody grabbing their pitchforks and whatever they could find on him. Does it seem like that would line up with anything at all, or?
It does not look like it was ever founded with very high morals. What you're gathering is that from the beginning, it was forced happiness. It was magical conditioning, spiritual reprogramming. I don't even know what word I was trying to say. But it also housed dangerous, cursed individuals, along with just minor crimes, minor situations where they were still being treated as if they were bad. You know, one of the letters is from a mother that says, "You told me he would be cured, that he would forget his nightmares, but he no longer knows me or even smiles. He only smiles when he is hurt and bleeding." There's one that says, "The elf said we must purge sorrow, but now even grief is punished. We caught a girl crying in the garden. She's now gone. And the rose bush where she sat has withered." There's one from Baron Valakovich himself. The father, not the current one. "Your Highness, the elves have proven most effective. Already the chanting has taken hold, and our most obstinate prisoners praise the sun every hour. I foresee no rebellion, only order and joy."
All right.
One from one of the elves. It's, "The rites of nitrous are not cruel, only when misapplied. But these humans have no patience, no balance. They take the ash and leave the fire."
Okay. And then I got a book on the what the Amber Temple forbade. I think that's book 110.
The Amber Temple forbids. There it goes. You quickly learn that it's not a book for learning. That sounds funny. You quickly learn that this is not a book for learning. It is more of a warning, a catalog of consequences, and a record for those who dared to enter.
Does it perhaps say why they entered or what they were seeking?
Um, it talks about deep scholars, warlocks, clerics, and kings who sought the secrets of the Amber Temple and what happened to them as they sought them. What befell them, the curses that befell them. The doors open not by invitation but by weakness. Curiosity is currency in the temple, and the debt is always collected. And then you find it. He came with purpose. He left with power. But the echoes still follow him. And it talks about Strahd himself, how he made a pact with at least one of the powers you can see.
Do we have names?
The name of the power?
Yeah.
Single terrible night struck me. Vondrek the Profane, or Vond the Profane. That's Vaundrek. Was the main dark power. They do not believe he was the only one, but he was the main one.
Has that name through the circles of dread? Would I have heard that name before?
Considering he's the patron of undeath, probably. Another one you would have heard of is Zudun. That's Zhudun. Sometimes referred to as the Corpse Star. He is the Lord of Death.
What of death? I think Talon will make like another quick trip through the library looking for any books that might lead him more to like rituals or anything like that that could lead to these guys in it, and keep his eye open for his book, then probably head back to the room.
Okay. Mr. Bolivar,
Yes, sir.
you were laying in your room, you were resting, you were sleeping, anything in particular you care to do besides sleep in that room?
After I have basically after I have attuned with the items, kind of definitely me itching the tattoo on my arm of the shadow branding tattoo
Mm-hmm.
every so often, even subconsciously. Um, but because you would know that something's possibly gonna be watching him. I wouldn't say he's sleeping very well. He's kind of sort of just like waking up, checking around, and then going back to sleep, making sure nothing's watching him. If that makes any sense.
Uh-huh. Give me perception.
Okay, perception. Jesus fucking Christ.
Really? Okay.
Put a nat 1 marker up.
You feel very safe and secure in your room, sir. You're positive no one is watching you, and you fall
As every
right
single
back
eye
to
hole has eyeballs in it.
as you fall back to sleep in a beautiful, wonderful slumber, back to dreaming about puppy dogs and kitty cats and rainbows, warm days and cool springs and cookie cake.
Every single one of those little fake eyes has eyeballs in it watching me sleep. That's how I'm picturing it. Okay, I don't see anything unusual. Just
No,
eyeballs in
nothing,
the paintings.
nothing
I'm going
unusual
back
at
to
all.
sleep.
Yep. Those pictures always had eyes.
Yep.
Back up to the top, Mr. Curse. What are you doing, sir, as you sit in this chapel?
This ritual is just still continuing. Yes.
Yes.
Um, if I'm not gleaning any sort of information out of that, I would like to work my way back out.
Okay.
When I get to the door that I disarmed, would I notice if the trap has reset itself or if it was a one-time?
It was a one-time thing.
I'm going to quickly try to unlock the door.
Okay. Give me that roll, sir.
It is a 21.
Okay. After a little while, after trying your best, you realize that you're just not quite there. It is close, but you know that it's gonna take you a little bit more. to be, you like rushed it there at the end.
This is nothing like the lock that Tobias had given me.
No, it is nothing like that.
I will head back toward the upstairs, the hallway with all of our rooms.
Okay.
You say there is a staircase that goes up from there?
Yes, the spiral staircase, it continued up from where you were. It goes from the first floor all the way. It didn't go any lower, but it went from the first floor. The second floor, you guys walked right past. The third floor is where all the rooms were, and it did continue on up to another floor.
Would like to continue up to the next floor.
Okay. The as you're walking up to the fourth floor, the things that you heard from those three women, it gave you the impression that they were brides of Strahd, and basically it didn't sound so much like they were becoming his bride as much as they were almost reciting renewal vows to him, almost like some type of a service. So you reach the fourth floor.
I will just take quick note that there was just as many brides of Strahd as there are cows in Barovia.
That's right. It's a true story. That's freaking canon, y'all. He ain't just making that up to be sexist. What,
I
Cordelia?
suppose that's where the rest of the brides went, do you?
Look, there used to be 4 cows. One got killed, and there just happens to be 3 brides. Nobody knows who killed that cow, but, just saying.
There is no such thing as coincidence.
No,
I mean,
not
why
at all.
do I feel like it was one of our group? No, I know it wasn't.
Okay. So you go up to the 4th floor, sir, and I'm going to need you to roll that stealth again on that 4th floor.
It is 29.
Okay. As you reach the top of the stairs, there is a solitary black cat right in front of you that is just like meandering. It as you round because this is a very wide spiral staircase. It's 15 feet wide. As you like round the corner and you're sneaking up the stairs, you see this black cat. And this is the top floor. The steps end right here. This solitary black cat has just hopped up on the last, just hopped up off that last step onto the floor, which is like a crushed velvet carpet. And this cat, you are being so quiet that this black cat doesn't even hear you. You could sneak up behind it and spook it. You could, you could ignore it. You could walk past it, which would also scare it. But, whatever. And there do appear to be almost as many doorways in this hallway as down below. Not quite as many, but almost. Like, down below, there were 9 doors and then a library at the end. On this floor, it looks to be more like 6 doors with something at the end of the hallway. And when I say something, like an open doorway at the end.
This would be above the library, then?
Yes, above the library.
The cat is not aware of my presence.
Nope.
Will be I'm going to reach down and pick up the cat.
Okay. Give me an animal handling.
15.
It what the hell? It immediately starts purring and mewing as I roll in that one. And this black cat has fallen in love with you.
I will.
Guess you have
The
a
cat.
roommate.
Hello,
As
little
you're
one.
petting it, I need you to say something about $10 million.
Mr. Bigglesworth. A mini me. What? Hello, little one. What secrets does your master hide in here?
And it's
And I
just
will-
it's shoving its head into your chest, and it's just enjoying being pet.
I will walk to the end of the hallway, to the very far door, the one above the library.
Okay.
Does it
It's
checking for traps and locks?
yeah. You don't find any traps as you're walking along. The 6 doors are all shut, 3 on each side of the hallway. When you get to the end, though, inside the room, you see a beautiful piano. You see a harpsichord. You see several different instruments in beautiful condition. There are violins and violas. There are lyres and lutes. There's even a couple drums. But it looks like a very large music room.
Is there a loot I can put inside my Baba bag?
There's a lute you could grab to put inside your baba bag.
I would like to do so, please.
Okay, you put I regret this decision already, but you put a lute inside the baba bag.
No windows, anything like this?
There are windows. There are definitely windows. They are sort of not really stained glass windows as much as they are almost fogged over, like a smoked look to them. All beveled glass, kind of thick.
Smoked in the process of making them, or smoked because of...
It looks like smoked in the
Smoking.
process. It looks like smoked in the process.
Rubbing them will do nothing.
No.
If that is the case, I will head back downstairs. I will take the cat with me.
Okay.
And you say there is a large stained glass window in the hallway that we are all staying in?
At the end of that hallway, right next to the library, yes, there is.
What is the depiction of this, if I was to look at it?
It appears to be that of Lord Strahd himself. Definitely, like, he looks a little older, though, so maybe it was his father? He doesn't look as bloodthirsty. He looks a little older, more distinguished. So yeah, it could be his father. Maybe it's what he wants to look like. Maybe it's how he sees himself. Maybe the artist sucked. If the artist sucked, he's probably not alive anymore. He's probably not alive anymore anyway.
I would go back to my room before closing the door behind me. I would simply put the cat down and say to him, "Tell your master all is going according." I'll put her down and say, "Tell your master all is going according to plan." Let her go.
Okay. She mews and kind of like quickly skips away, if a cat can skip. I mean, it's definitely a happy trot as she walks away. And you go into your room. Are you going to get a little sleep or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I am going to check on Andrew, and then we'll find a place to curl up on a
Andrew
shelf
has
or
told you that nobody has looked through any of the eye holes. At least not as of yet.
Very good, Andrew. Keep up the good work. Thumbs up.
Dude, I forget where I was today, Danny, on what site, but there was a website I was at that they actually had Handrews. And I was like, oh man, that'd be so cool to pick one of those up.
Until he starts giving me scritches.
Until he starts giving you scritches. There's some kind of like Halloween convention going on right now. I think it was when I was looking at that. A Halloween con.
Well, the Oddities and Curiosity. The Oddities and Curiosity shows that was in town here recently.
Okay.
Those go all year.
All year. Mr. Tobias. Sir.
Yes.
What are you doing now?
So I imagine it's taken him a while to read through those books.
Mm-hmm.
So he's read that way. So he's read through the Hag book. Now he wants to, once he's finished that, he'll go ahead and start looking through the Tome of Strahd.
Okay. Talon does walk in to the library. You see him kind of thumbing through books to get to, and you do know that you've been in here a little while already. You know eventually you do need to get some sleep, or you will be exhausted tomorrow.
All right.
At least, you know, I was going to try to do some kind of like play on word of what level of exhaustion, but anyway, you will be exhausted.
Mr. Alda is in his room. He's going to be exhausted anyway.
Yeah.
True story. How many levels of exhaustion does he want? So, did you read the Tome of Strahd that I sent you?
I don't remember getting it. Let me look.
Don't remember getting it, dude. It's like 16 pages. How could you not remember that? Yeah, I went above and beyond.
I read like 300 to 400 page books, and I forget them the next month. So
Then why do you read? If you forget them by a month later, why even read it? You're like wasting your time.
No, you're not.
There are TV shows you could be watching.
it didn't matter. I'd be watching TV, but I mean, sit and watch TV, but I can sit and read a book. So,
Like, yeah.
Maybe
Yeah,
maybe I just read a whole
Month.
No.
And then you wait a few months, and then you reread it, and the surprises are all there all over again. That's For me, it took a couple
Exactly.
years. But I've reread several books a few times. I just love them. So there.
Okay. True story. You could reread the book. And do you need me to send it to you in Gmail, sir?
Nah, I got it right now.
Okay.
I am almost done reading it.
It was 16 pages. How are you almost done reading it?
I'm on page 9.
He's not reading it. He's skimming it.
I was gonna say he's a skimmer.
I didn't say I'm memorizing it.
Doesn't matter. Cat would forget it in a month.
Yeah.
Just load it into Chat GPT and tell me to give it to Too Long Didn't Read version.
Wow, that is so cheating. Paraphrase this in 5 sentences.
I need 5 words. I am Strahd von Zarovich. Done. Got it.
2 words. I Strahd.
You could do the burns that Jester was doing last
yeah,
time.
Wait, no,
true.
Burn when it was.
It was able to narrow it down to 5 words. I am the bitch king.
Wow.
Oh, sounds right.
So all those levels we were just talking about, yeah.
Yeah, and then some. I wish I would have read I Am Strahd before, or I Strahd before I started running Strahd. I know a young lady who read I Strahd first and then ran it, and she said it felt like she knew so much more about Strahd. This is the same person who like told me I'm crazy for running 6 games at once, but you know.
Well,
I know Strahd pretty well too. Thank you very much, and I didn't read the book.
That's great.
All right, I'm good.
What are you doing, Tobias? As you sit there, so do you stay up reading the tome?
He stays up reading a bit of it, and then I'm sure he's gonna by that time he's gonna notice the candles flickering. And quite some amount of time has passed, and
Talon's walked by him at least 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, and he needs some rest.
Left and maybe came back.
Yeah, he knows he needs to get some rest because he does have some spell preparation he needs to do in the morning.
Is that what you call it?
Yeah. Yep.
The spell prep or the rest?
Spell prep.
Yeah.
But
okay.
Yep.
And how much rest is going to be happening in that room?
He's gonna cast sleep on Esmeralda.
Drop that spell. Drop that spell.
Questionable there. Questionable, man.
He's gonna sleep. He is going to poison her. But
that is hilarious.
I'm sure Curtis has a few of those needles you can borrow.
He walks in there and gives her both bags of holding and says, "Here, put one in the other."
You need a shovel to dig yourself deeper into a hole?
But no, he's gonna
go on.
He's gonna go in there and probably crash out.
Esmeralda is asleep when you walk in there. It based on the preparations that you see that she made before you walked in, and her sleeping attire. She didn't plan on being asleep when you walked in, but she's asleep.
He doesn't even wake her up. He just crawls in bed and goes to sleep.
Okay. Joe, what are you doing?
Well, I don't really need sleep, but
You need meditation time, though.
yeah.
4 hours.
So I think I'm gonna let Cordelia go back to sleep and take some meditation time. Get ready for whatever may come the next day.
You know what's sad is the fact that the purple dye, I've rolled it so much that its edges are no longer as sharp as I like.
Oh no.
I know. But anyway, so what are you personally doing to meditate and prepare and be quiet as Cordelia sleeps?
Well, I'm gonna go sit on my bed and lean against the wall and take some calming breath
I'm
and
trying to figure out when we went to sleep because I thought we were going to the library.
well, they're no longer in the library, so we'll have to wait until tomorrow to talk to them about it.
Okay, so we didn't go to the library at all. You just said we'll wait tomorrow. Okay, then I am asleep.
Okay. Anything else before before morning arrives and you're done meditating?
I think that'll be it for now. I'm gonna wait until morning to talk to everybody, tell them what we found.
Okay. Talon, you've been to the library. You came back to your room. You went to the library again. And shortly before you left the library, you did see Tobias finally leave the library. Give me investigation.
$18.
As you were looking around, what all are you looking for this time around?
Just anything on rituals that could lead up to that would have anything to do with the two gentlemen that we discussed earlier. His book still, and other than that, he's really not looking for too much else. I'm pretty sure the odds of him finding all that in there are probably fairly low, but
Right.
he thought he'd give it like a quick look and then head back to his room.
What's your passive perception?
Not great. 14.
14. Okay. As you're looking for the books on either of those two, and you're just kind of perusing, on top of one of the bookshelves, you hear a whisper from the top of a bookshelf.
Is it like above my head, or are they about eye level?
Above your head. It's one of the ones against the wall. The wall ones are almost floor to ceiling. Then all the ones in the middle are, just below, right at about 5.5 foot tall. But the ones against the wall are 7.5.
Does he happen to have a ladder around there that kind of glides on a rail?
Um, no, but there are several step stools around.
He'll grab a step stool and have a look.
You see a very battered tome that the cover of it, the binding of it is blackened, um, wrinkled. Is that a Dremel that we hear?
My bad. I thought I was muted again.
It's all good, man. Um, and you quickly realize that it is bound in skin, in flesh. Very old, weathered flesh. And it is pushed to the back against the wall to where you have to, the bookshelves are roughly a good 15, 16 inches deep. So you had to stand up on top of this step stool and you had to reach back there to get it. And you slide it forward and step down, and it's carved into the cover. A darkish red color that you're pretty sure is not even ink is poured into the grooves that say the Blood Sovereign's Lament. And as you open it up, it is a book of poetry about the profane himself, about Vondrek. And as you're looking through, you start noticing about every other page doesn't match. Give me an intelligence roll. Give me Arcana, actually.
Dirty 20.
You realize that the second to last piece of your book that you need has been fused into this poetry book.
I will take that book with me, but I will keep it on the other side of me so that my book and that book do not combine. Because lately, if I put them together, they combine. I do not want that to happen here. And then he'll probably head to his room, read the volume of Screams till he's kind of ready to meditate. And
That's a good way to just chill out by yourself in a creepy castle, read the Book of Screams, and
yeah. They may not get a show tonight, so we'll see what happens. We have to come back anyway.
I need all of you to give me a Constitution save.
Okay.
I don't like that.
24.
10.
Cat, would you be so kind?
Yeah, I can roll for you. I have a 21.
Okay.
I can give you my dice roll.
No,
It's
thank
8.
you. I don't know
Okay.
that cats will be any better, but
Okay. I got a 12 in the die.
okay, so 14.
Tobias incurs.
10.
6 for me.
6.
I should have that. I should have that +1. Oh, never mind. Sorry. Go ahead. I don't even know what I'm doing right now.
Okay. Congratulations, none of you ended up having nightmares tonight. You all get the benefits of a long rest. Tobias, you wake up a little tired. You know you pushed yourself, but thankfully you were able to come back to the room and go right to sleep. And you will wake up, all of you, including Esmeralda. With a long rest. And we will pick up right after break, y'all. Let's go ahead and get some water. Are you going to go feed the calf?
I gotta go feed, so I'll be back.
Okay. And we will see you all back here in a few moments, okay? Stretch your legs, touch some grass, get some water, do something. Hey, Sunday night, we're back. I'm sorry I forgot to hit play on the videos so that you guys could stare at the all the NPCs. I apologize. Instead, you got the be
What do you
right
mean
back screen.
PCs?
No, so during the game, they can see the
Oh,
PCs down here in the bottom left. Before the game, they get to see all the PCs from all the games. But usually, while we're on break, I have up a video of all the NPCs. So, or at
oh,
least the NPCs, the majority of the
that
NPCs
matter.
that you guys have met and stuff like that. So, but yep.
Oh yeah. Speaking of which, I need to ask Wednesday night if they've checked in on Felix, that orphan kid that was possessed by the demon.
They have not made it. I'll tell you right. Well, Carl can tell you they haven't made it to the orphanage yet. They're about halfway through the city right now. Almost halfway. Yeah, between a quarter and halfway through the village. Um, it's kind of a war zone, as you know.
Yeah.
So when Cordelia gets home, she's going to bed. About how far away are you, Cordelia?
I'm about 10 minutes away, but I also have to get some stuff out of the car
Okay.
and, get my dogs from being riled up. So
Yeah.
probably about 20 minutes, maybe 30 from sleep.
Okay.
All right.
I'm just going to be loud.
Yeah. We'll NPC you for a little while if anything important happens. Like Strahd decides to attack you all or something. I mean, who knows?
Well,
I mean,
I don't
Tobias is with you guys, so.
Yeah, I can play my character.
We all know that Morgan is taking care of a calf right now, or probably a couple calves out there feeding them and everything. But as morning comes, as you all are awakened by the aromas of a fresh breakfast, some fried foods, mixed with a little bit of citrus smell, and baked goods. It's a strange scent that you're awoken by. You wouldn't expect in Strahd's castle to be awoken by this scent, by this aroma. But you are. Do you all get up, get your things together, and head towards where you know the kitchen is? Do you sit and wait? What do we all do as we're waking up? I will go in the exact opposite order this time, so we will start with Belivar first.
Belivar will naturally wake. He'll check and make sure nothing else happened. He'll check on that box that we found a couple sessions ago. Uh, the one that is like do not open at all.
Uh huh.
Check and make sure it's still in the bag of holding, unless Tobias made it create something else and he lost that bag.
No, I'm still in that bag of holding.
Okay. He's going to then make his way out into the hallway and somewhat follow the scent of food he's smelling.
Okay. Joe?
I am going to lightly wake up Cordelia and ask her if she wants to go down to get some food or if she wants to wait for everybody else.
I think it might be best to see if we can find those who were in the library and show them what we discovered before we head down. And just for future reference, I don't think I want to drink any wine here. So,
Yeah, good idea.
I mean, the food is bad enough, but we have to have sustenance. So, take my water bottle with me.
Your water skin.
Yeah, water skim.
Then let's go see if we can find any of the guys that were in the library and knock on their door, see if they're awake yet.
Okay. As you two
You
come
wanna
out of
split
your
up and-
room, go on. Sorry. Go ahead, Cordelia.
I was just thinking, do you want to split up and each take a room, then like meet back in our room or something?
Okay.
As you open the door to one of you go to Talons and the other one go basically across the hall, you do see Belivar making his way towards the stairs.
We'll
You
call out to
continue.
him
Okay.
quietly and wave him
Okay.
over.
He will join them and such.
Okay.
I'll join them and everything.
Okay. You we will come back to Talon. So at least one of you, or the duo that Belivar is with, goes to Mr. Tobias Tinkerton's door.
Knock, knock, knock. You guys awake?
Question, Tobias. You're muted.
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay. No, you're not. I'm sorry. I was mistaken. So in the morning, Tobias, if Esmeralda was trying to make up to you, would you engage?
Sure.
Okay. As you knock on Tobias's door, you can hear noises from inside that he is already awake.
Oh, okay.
Bang a little
You
louder.
guys, I think we should go check on Helen first.
Oh no,
We
I'm
can
gonna bang a
bother
little
them
louder.
after.
I'm like,
You knock on the door anyway, Cordelia?
I'm banging yeah loud and be like,
Okay.
Are
Yeah,
you
he's banging loud too.
Do you want me to roll a performance or deception check because I'm
I
You
won't yell.
you
but
roll
I'm
deception,
gonna
she'll roll performance.
There you go.
His cat.
Kurs.
18?
18 and see, and she got a 17, a nat 17,
25.
so you know. No.
Mine's a 20.
Cordelia, you were just
Oh.
knocking on the door. I was talking about him and
I was gonna be like how well I banged on the door, not how well I banged.
wow.
I
Wow.
was like, what?
Unbelievable.
Tired, sorry.
Is it really unbelievable,
you-
or does it totally make sense?
It makes sense, but you deserved a face palm for that. Okay.
My first face palm, yes.
Anyway, Tobias, you do hear banging on the door in between the headboard banging the wall.
All right. What is it? Mage hand, open the door.
That's probably a good idea. Don't cover everything.
The mage hand opens the door.
Can I help you?
You guys decent?
He's
We've
actually
got
kind of
guys
better
that
than
some that
decent.
we found.
Wow.
Okay, can we cut in, or do you guys need to finish?
He's about to come in. You sure can.
Wow.
I'm gonna look at Cordelia and Belivar and be like, you guys want to go in first?
I'd rather not interrupt someone's reducing of morning wood.
Well, I did just bang on the door even though I knew what they were doing. So sure, I'll walk in first.
Okay. You walk in and
However,
you see Tobias and Esmeralda.
Enlarge, reduce, enlarge, reduce, enlarge, reduce.
I will go to a chair if I see their clothes, pick them up and throw them at them and say, "Come on, we've got stuff to do." And I'm gonna mute.
Has anybody?
Okay, I'm getting this out of my mind. This is above table. It'll be so funny. It'll be so funny if some smart ass sorcerer decided to use reduce mid coitus.
Yeah, that's what Kurz was suggesting.
No enlargement, just reduce it.
Okay.
There may be a shotgun aimed at me afterwards, but oh well. But I won't do so. I'm not that
Happy
mean.
ending. Is somebody getting Talon over here too?
So, do you want to go back across the hallway to get Talon, or
Yeah, I'll go get Talon.
okay?
Do I know where Kurz is too, since most of us are here now?
You know which room is Kurz, yeah.
Okay. I'll go knock on his too, see if he's awake,
Okay.
so he can
Talon
join in on the
first.
information. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, if I recall, we were actually told where everyone's room was.
Yeah. No, you guys do know where everyone's rooms are, unless they went into their room before they heard where everyone else's rooms are. So, Talon, there is a knock on your door. You're muted.
He will answer the door. He is by now well dressed after his meditation.
Okay.
Hey, we're all meeting over in this room so we can talk about what we find. You want to come on over?
So we can talk about who?
We're gonna talk about what we just found last night.
Oh,
Uh,
oh.
yeah, we're gonna meet up in Tobias's and Esmeralda's room. Um, hopefully they're dressed now. Go slow.
If I look over, does it look like there's a bunch of people just standing around their door, or did they all walk in?
Cordelia walked in and threw clothes at them. Belivar, did you walk in?
Nope.
Belivar's standing
peek
outside the
in.
door.
Like, kind of sort of just leaning on the wall away from, not even looking in. He's just like, they'll be done shortly, probably.
Well,
Talon
they
just
still
walks
have to
right
get
in,
dressed.
leaves the door open.
Yeah. Kurz and Joe, give me a Constitution roll real quick.
Just a con roll, not a save.
Yeah, just a con roll.
Well, good, because that's a 3.
Okay. Kurz, I assume you beat a 3.
Is it 14?
Okay. So, Kurz, you are awake. Did you get up to leave the room, or is she going to be able to knock on the door before you leave the room?
I would like to think that Andrew opens the door as she is knocking.
Okay.
She doesn't get to.
Joe, just as you're getting ready to knock on the door, give me a dex save.
$17.
Yeah, no problem. You catch yourself as you try to knock on the door. It opens up, and you see Andrew right there.
Oh, we're all meeting up in Tobias's room. Did you want to come with?
But yes, I would be there in a minute. I'm going to adjust the hat that I found on the door last night. I'm just going to adjust that a little bit and make my way over there.
Okay.
Come, Andrew.
He jumps on your shoulder as you walk by, and you two leave the room. You see Belivar standing outside of the door, but Cordelia's inside. Talon, did you go inside to watch the show too, or?
He just walked in and left the door open.
Okay.
So it's wide open.
Tobias,
Yep.
give me a dex roll.
That's just like a deck save or
Yeah, dex save.
6.
Okay, you're done. Just so you know.
All right. I
So
cast expeditious.
Talon, you walked in as Tobias was standing up. Unless you cover yourself up, Tobias, Talon was able to see your assets. I don't care. Whatever. Kurz, you do see Belivar outside the door. Joe, do you walk in or do you wait?
I'll walk in just afterwards.
Okay.
Grab Belivar, drag him in.
Okay. Esmeralda is propped up in the bed with the sheets kind of pulled up around her. And Tobias, as everybody walks in, you see that Kurz is wearing your hat.
All right. It's a cat in a hat.
Right.
Been waiting a week and a half for that joke. The punchlines are drawn out.
So, long game.
The long game it is. You guys are all in Tobias's room, somewhat Esmeralda's room. Go ahead. The floor is yours.
You can go ahead and speak if you want to. No.
What? I missed what she said.
Sorry, I said you can go ahead and speak. My dog is throwing the toy that squeaks.
Oh.
Oh, okay. So I'm going to show them what I found. So like the guest book and the letter. I'm not sure if the mirror is helpful, but I'll pass it around too. Be like, I don't know who this is.
This room, it shows a different room. It shows an image of the room you're in 100 years ago.
Oh. Oh.
No matter
So
what
because
room
I'm
you're
in a
in.
different room.
Yes.
It shows a different. Okay, what do I see now?
Okay. In this room,
Romper room.
It's like you see Tobias and Esmeralda from another time.
That would be so trippy.
wouldn't it though?
Be like when she actually had both legs instead.
Red velvet drapes, heavy with golden tassels, a large canopied bed, candles lining the walls in tall iron sconces. There is a noblewoman sitting at at like a makeup mirror table. She's wearing a dark green gown. Very fashionable. But it does look a little out of date, even for Barovian standards 100 years ago. Hair pinned up with silver combs that are shaped like ravens. On the bedside table, there is a sealed bottle of what looks like black liquid. You see a sigil painted on the floor right in front of the doorway. Looks like to be in dried blood. It's some type of a warding mark.
Oh.
Can we see any of this going on?
Only if you look in the mirror and look around the room.
So because I was showing you guys the mirror, you would see like what was in it.
Is there any
Yeah.
trace of the ward left over on the floor or anything?
Like right here and right now? No. But as you look in the mirror, you see it painted on the floor in front of the doorway. Like, as you, if you walked into the room, it's painted on the floor right there inside the room.
Can we determine what it is or what it's for?
Anyone who knows magic in that way can give me an arcana. That would be what you and Belivar, Talon and Belivar, and Tobias. Oh, Esmeralda could too.
I rolled a 21.
I didn't even use the purple die, and Esmeralda got a nat 20.
God damn.
Yeah. It is... Where'd that go? Where'd that sigil go? As you guys are examining it, looking in the mirror and everything, Esmeralda walks up, kind of, Belivar and Talon, give me, what's your passive?
My passive perception,
Yep.
11. It's horrible.
Talon?
14.
The other four of you realize, as you see her, get up out of the bed and walk towards them looking at the mirror. She's just buck-ass naked. And she walks over to the mirror. Talon, as you're holding the mirror, you don't see a reflection of her walking up because you're looking in the mirror 100 years ago. But as she leans over your shoulder, you realize she's naked, and Belivar, it is then that you realize she's standing there naked also. And she looks in the mirror and she goes, "Huh. I always wondered what that part of the symbol meant." Okay, so that sigil is... It's a temporary save versus being charmed by the Lord himself. Whoever was in this room 100 years ago was a sorcerer who knew that sigil and put it there so that she couldn't be charmed overnight while she slept. Interesting. And then she walks away and starts getting dressed.
Did that sigil happen to be in what's his name's book? I think it was the dude that actually built Van Richten's tower. I think he built quite a bit of Strahd stuff.
Was it in his book? Yes, it was definitely in his book. It didn't explain necessarily what it was, but yes, it was in that book.
Do we know if can we tell if it's in like chalk, ink, ash, or what it's made out of?
In the doorway, it looks like dried blood.
Okay.
Can I make a drawing of that symbol
Yes.
Cool.
and what I know to invert it? Because it's in a mirror.
Everyone give me... No, you wouldn't. But give me a wisdom.
Everyone?
Yeah, everyone.
Wisdom what?
Just a wisdom check.
6.
All right, wisdom check. 9.
11.
15.
And
15.
I guess you could include maybe history.
I mean, I'm a bard, which dabbles in a bunch of shit, so maybe I would know to do it. If I saw him drawing it and be like, by the way, shouldn't that be...
Well,
What'd you get on your roll, Cordelia? On your wisdom?
I only got a straight up 11.
Okay.
Not high enough, I don't think.
Mm-mm.
I'd be like, duh. It's really great art.
Everyone remember it, because when you go to try it and it doesn't work, then we can all roll a Arcana, because it'll be a why isn't this working? Why is it doing it the exact opposite? Why is it inviting him to charm us? What else you got for us, Miss Joe,
Oh,
with your 100-year-old mirror?
I'm gonna also read them the letter to Tatiana,
Okay.
and show them the guest book and how we know that it's Lady Marcella on I did not spell her last name right. I don't know what that is. That wrote the letter.
Okay. Did everyone hear it, or does anyone need to rehear it?
who was it that wrote the letter again?
It is Lady Marcella von what's the last?
Van Bertek. Where'd that go? Where's her name at? Lady. Not there. It's right up here.
Was it the Martikov name or?
No, it was. Come on, where'd you go? I'm almost there. Lady Marcella von Brecht. 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 Marcella von Brecht.
Okay. And so because of the guest book, that's how we know who wrote the letter.
Yes.
And once that would mentioned, I would also bring up the trade agreements that Joe found.
Oh, well, in the book it talks about um the trade agreements. Hold on, let me pull it up again. That Lord Vasali Erevan wrote that it was an honor to be welcomed so graciously, and I hope our trade agreement proves fruitful. So we're not sure what trade agreement that was.
Or if,
Betty, are
you know, it
okay,
even
yeah,
happened.
or if it was happened, yeah. Are we able to see like how faded that signature is?
Which signature?
No one just closed it. Lord Vasali, Everman.
How old is that one? Um, you're figuring based on some of the other writings, based on where it is in the book. Um, Old. It was probably over 200 years ago, maybe over 3.
Okay.
So we were thinking we would go to the library at some point and see if we couldn't find the name and possibly see what trade agreement this was and stuff like that, guys.
Anybody else find anything out?
I tried to do a little scouting last night, and I'll pull out my rough drawn map. This I made it so far as the chapel. Um, Before that, there was a door. It was it was trapped, and it was pretty significantly locked. Unfortunately, it was just more than I could do anything with. Joe, perhaps someone with your talents could serve that better. But while I was in the chapel, there was 4 figures in there. It appeared to be a hooded person. I could not make out their face. And then there were three three women. They looked very tired. Uh, that yes, they was deathly tired. I would say. Um, they all had similar appearances. They looked. Have you met Irina? We
No.
escorted her. We escorted her from Barovia to Valaki, and they all looked similar to her, or Yana. I believe them to be um, former brides. They seem to be chanting for the time that I was there. And they paid no attention to me at all. I don't even know if they knew that I was there. But I left before I could gather too much more information than that. I did find a music room upstairs from where we stay, just upstairs here, and there was a peculiar cat, but other than that, nothing of note. I tried the one door twice. It seemed to be, I don't know, as sturdy as the lock was, I would deduce that it would lead to somewhere important. I was looking for the the mausoleum for where our host would spend his evenings or days, whenever he sleeps. I had no luck, but I did map out what I did come across.
That might be a book we need to look for in the library too. If he's got a outline of his castle or something.
Oh,
Architectural
so we know
plans.
where we're going.
Yeah. However, at this point, Talon will take over or tell you guys all about what he found at the Ember, about the Ember Temple, and the deals he made, and who he thinks he made the deals with. First, Strahd made the deals with.
Do you guys all remember all that, or do you want him to recap it real quick?
No, I
You might need a
remember.
recap.
Okay. Talon, you want to go ahead and recap that?
Yeah, give me a hot second.
The TLRDR? TLDR, yeah, TLDR. Too long didn't read. Or in this case, too long didn't listen.
Yeah.
So pretty much he'll go with several people have come and have went to the Amber Temple and tried to seek its powers, as he'll kind of point out in the book he's got, and point out some of the repercussions they endured. And then he'll kind of flip to the back of the book where he'll get to where they're talking about Strahd and how the main dark power that the book is pretty certain they meant was Vanderdrake. Was pretty well known through the Dreads and very unpleasant. And then the Corpse Star is the other guy that they think helped with his powers. That's about really all there is there. Unless you want to read of some kind of screams about things I think he's done from this other book. Kind of poetry. It's a little dark and grim, but could be interesting. That's
Interesting
about all.
and creepy.
No, creepy is the volume of screams.
Oh, okay. I'll
Yeah,
pass
don't
on that
get
one.
him confused. Don't get him confused.
Yeah.
However, I have a feeling our great host is probably going to come get us pretty soon. Because he
Probably.
was supposed to be looking for somebody, so if we want to go anywhere to the library or something, we should probably
Go right
have a
now.
quick look around everything else before the little scary man comes back.
You mean Mr. Bellevue?
Mr.
Yes.
Belvedere, yes.
Yeah.
Esmeralda kind of looks at you for a second, Kurz, and is like, "It was Mr. Bellevue, not Belvedere.
That is what I said, Mr. Belvedere.
No, Bellevue."
I don't hear a difference in what we're saying.
Okay. Okay, never mind. You should clean
She's
out
still
your
standing
ears.
there.
No, she got dressed. So are we going to breakfast or are we going to go down to the library real quick? And when Mr. Belvedere shows up, we're all in the library instead. What are we doing? Because I'm sure that you all can smell the breakfast I smell.
Yes. I was thinking we were going to be going to breakfast as well.
Like some of us go to breakfast, some of us go to the library, all of us go to the library, or are we just going to go eat? What are we doing?
Good
Would
question.
you like to go eat?
I haven't worked up an appetite this morning. I'm not hungry. Tobias, dear, do you need to go eat?
Sure,
Okay.
I could eat.
Okay. Then I mean, Belivar and Tobias and I could go eat, and the other four of you could go to the library if you want. Or we can wait a few moments for you to search the library. It's up to you all.
It's
What were
not a
you guys
very. We were just trying to see if there was something else about that trade agreement.
Okay.
But if while you guys were looking through, did you see anything that had to do with business or anything? That might save us a trip to going to the library.
did we?
I can help make a run through there real quick if I know what I'm looking for. I can do what they would call a CAT scan.
I heard the loud slap of that one.
Oh man. So
I have to admit that one was really good.
I don't know if you want to call that good, but yes. So anyway,
Got a whole book of these,
um
so you know.
yes, you guys, at least one of you, either Talon or Tobias, do remember seeing something about some trade agreements. You also think you saw like the making of Castle Ravenloft. You think?
Should we run back in there and grab what might be a map?
I mean, if you can do it quickly, I mean,
I can do almost everything quickly, and I wink at her.
Other than
I don't need
search
anyone
me,
else doing anything quicker. Okay, trust me.
yeah. Other than everybody just searching their creepy paintings, did you guys look through your rooms, see if there was anything laying around?
Well, the stuff that I showed you was what was in my room.
I know, and
I didn't search my room.
so I figured we might as well all double check before we head out
Before we
too.
go.
Yeah.
Okay. Tobias, can you let me know where that book was about the making of Ravenloft? I'll go grab it real quick
Yeah,
while you guys search your rooms.
yeah. I can tell her where it's at.
Andrew, go with Joe in case she needs some help. Not the hand, just some help.
Flipping through things.
Maybe reaching something up high.
There you go.
Okay. Andrew follows you, Joe.
Okay.
Okay, Tobias, give me a search of your room.
Right.
Who else didn't search their room?
I didn't.
Okay. So Joe and Cordelia are the only one that searched their room. Gotcha. But you didn't search. Cordelia, did you go to Joe's room? Or did Joe go to Cordelia's room?
I think Joe went to Cordelia's room.
Honestly, not sure.
Okay, we'll just
Yeah, I
say
don't
Joe went over
remember.
there. Joe, did you search your room first or you did, didn't you? You searched your room and then you went to her room, didn't you?
Yeah.
Okay, did you search Cordelia's room also?
No.
Okay. Okay, so everyone give me a search.
Got a 20 total.
20
That's gonna be
total.
an investigation.
Yes, sorry, investigation. I went old school and went 3.5 for a second.
13.
6.
Did you say 6?
6.
What is it because there's nothing on the top shelf or on top of a table you can't find it?
I think I was like those guys in Spaceballs.
16 on mine.
I kept looking, but I kept knocking things off the top shelf, so
Kurz, give me a D100 roll.
it is an 84.
You'd found an hourglass, but now it's broken because you knocked it off. So a broken hourglass. It did have black sand inside of it, but it's broken. What? Are you trying to think of a joke with black sand? Is that what it is?
No, I was trying to figure out some way to pick it all up so I can have somebody cast mending on it.
Okay. Tobias,
But I
would
don't
you
have
roll?
nothing.
20.
20? Okay. Give me 4 rolls. 4 D100 rolls. One at a time, please.
4. The number 4 first.
You find a pair of heeled boots. No, they are not Esmeralda's.
What were they injured from?
And they're just a little too tight on her. I heard you. What were they injured from? Because they were healed. Yeah, I got you. I'm right there with you. Second number.
9.
A pair of children's shoes. What the fuck? 2 sets of shoes. Third number. If they're shoes, you're rolling again.
60.
a bottle of perfume labeled Moonlight.
Fancy.
And the last number that you find?
39.
Go figure, something an artificer would need. Not necessarily need, but
Could use.
it's a tuning fork. And without even rolling, I'm going to let you know that it is tuned to a location in a specific realm. You'll have to identify stuff to figure out anything else on it. Talon, what'd you get?
16.
Okay, give me 3.
93.
You find underneath the bed a painting of Castle Ravenloft. Nowhere on the wall does it look like it's missing from or anything. And it's kind of a small painting. Could easily be smuggled out. Next.
$26.
You find a quill that is definitely it's not a feather. It's a quill that looks like it was possibly a rib bone.
Okay. $49.
You find a baby bonnet with wolf hair caught in the stitching. Cordelia, did you roll?
I'm sorry, what was I rolling?
You're rolling your investigation.
Hold on.
Are you falling asleep already?
Yeah.
Winding down.
Sorry, guys.
Yep.
Investigation. That's not bad. 15.
15. Give me 3.
Mm-hmm. Oh, 3. Okay,
Oh, 3. No, not 3 investigation. 3 D100 rolls.
Okay.
Cordelia, please. Joe, please write this down for her because she's falling asleep.
Okay.
First D100.
Oh, a 100. Ha! And then a 94.
Okay,
And
hold
a
on.
47.
And a 47. 47. Somebody write down 47 and 94.
I got it.
So the one of them is a pillow that has an impression in it of somebody's head that nobody had been laying there, no one slept there, but there's an impression in the pillow itself.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep. There is a folded up piece of paper that you find, of parchment, that simply says, "He knows you're here."
Huh.
And you said 47?
Mm-hmm.
Who would know this? You know what? Give me history.
Okay. Oh, that was the second net one of the day.
Ouch.
Yeah.
I want not Joe. Talon, you can give me a roll. I don't think Kurz would. Yeah, Talon, Tobias, and Belivar, give me a history.
Alrighty. 13.
Tobias,
I
what'd
got
you
a
get? 6.
6.
Talon,
And
10. You said 13, Belivar?
Yep.
She found a bone, a comb made from bone. You're not positive, Belivar, but you're pretty damn sure based on the scaling of this bone. And by scaling, I mean the actual textures and everything of this bone. It's a fucking dragon bone. And it's a comb made from dragon bone. That you're
That's a nice.
pretty sure it's made of dragon bone.
Okay.
Okay. You can go to sleep now.
Night, night, everybody.
Night night.
Have a good night.
Belivar, what'd you roll on your investigation?
13.
13. Yep. Give me 2 D100.
Okay. Roll number 1. 32.
You end up finding a cold iron dagger.
A cold iron?
Yeah, cold iron is a specific type of iron.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I heard
Yeah.
right.
Yep, a cold iron dagger.
Alright. I'm typing it out. That's why there was a pause.
It is definitely
And
magical,
another.
by the way.
Alright. And 58.
And while looking around, you found a pile of singed and burnt tarot cards inside the fireplace of your room. It's no longer a complete set.
Alrighty.
And that's everybody, right?
Yes, sir. I believe so.
Okay. Okay, you guys are going to the library to look up, to find the plans, or at least Joe is headed to the library with Handrew. to get the
Yes.
plans and also to look for the trade agreement. I have the trade agreement right here. Where'd it go? Okay. Okay. So you find the trade agreement, the paperwork for it, and everything else. You find that it was almost 300, a little over 300 years ago. It was a trade agreement between Lord Vasily Erevan and Strahd, revolving around the exchange of goods and resources. Strahd would be sending the wines and spirits that were being made at the vineyard. At that time, it was not called the Martikov. It was still called Wizard of the Wines, but it was not owned by the Martikovs.
Okay.
In exchange for silk, fine fabrics, exotic spices, along with a military alliance that Vasily would send over. Does it say how many? It doesn't say. You can't read how many it was, but that he was definitely solidifying his military power. Strahd was.
Okay.
That he was looking for foreign mercenaries and was going to be offering safe passage through the mists.
Oh, okay.
Tobias and Talon. You know, and Belivar, because you're Shadowfell, Belivar. All three of you give me you're Drow and you're Shadowkai, yeah, and then you're an artificer. So all three of you give me a. We're gonna go with history again. Sorry, guys.
A natural one.
Hmm.
Okay, I'm trying to figure out what the hell's going on.
13.
I've rolled 3 11s in a row on these
Nice.
checks.
And you got a +2?
No, like that's the
Oh.
total.
Oh, okay.
My literally investigation 11, history 11, history 11 total. My god dang.
Um,
I rolled 9 4 times in a row on the D20.
so Talon, you don't know anything. Belivar, once Tobias kind of mentions it, you think you remember something. But Tobias, you remember years ago reading in a Van Richten book, you think. Maybe you heard about it from. Hold on, let me see if she knows anything. Holy shit, that's another nat 20 from the purple die for Esmeralda. Yeah, it was her that told you. Years and years ago, Strahd was trying to amass a military presence so that he could invade the other dread domains and take them over.
Oh.
and then you find the original blueprints of the castle.
Okay. So as long as nothing crazy's changed, we can kind of
Right.
figure out where everything is.
Yep.
I am going to show them to Kurz and be like, okay, so whatever was in that room is, and I have him point out which room he was trying to open last night.
Yes, it was right here before the chapel.
Kurz, give me an investigation.
It is a 0.
There's a 0. So a nat 1. Nice.
Yes.
You pointed out on the map. You have no idea what that room, because it doesn't say what that room's for. You have no idea what that room could be for. But, yeah, there's that room.
The room that is alive. Okay.
It,
To be
You-
fair, I don't know if there was a roof there. It was a door.
it is, it's a single room, Joe. Give me investigation, Joe.
Passive, or do you want me to roll for it?
What is your passive?
My passive is 14, and I rolled a 4. So,
Yeah, I asked you to roll. So you're looking at it, and yeah, it's a single room behind that door.
all right.
Okay. No idea what it could be used for, but that's the room Kurz pointed out. So there you go.
All right.
You know where it is on the map now. Doesn't look like it
Well,
leads
if
anywhere
we
else.
If you don't
He
have
did
time
say,
to get into it today, we can try another day. At least I know which one it is.
I was going to say, though, he did say that it was right by the church. So would she know that this size of the room is not matching up to that size next to it?
Yeah, it's a single room. She's looking at the map and drawing and everything. It's definitely a single room.
But to be fair, the drawing is a blank piece of paper because you can only see it in the moonlight.
Yeah, his map.
Yeah.
Well,
The
I was
one that I got from the library, though.
So looking at the drawings, like the original blueprints, it's a single room. Not real big,
Okay.
but it's a single room. So what are you guys doing? Anybody going to breakfast yet, or do you guys want to keep looking for stuff?
time for breakfast for Talon.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think it's time for food.
Yeah.
Okay. As you guys are making your way downstairs, still smelling it really well, you get down to the base of the stairs, and lo and behold, at the bottom of the stairs, there stands Bob. Just standing there. You don't see Savid. You don't see G. Willie. But Bob is standing there.
Oh, okay.
No, nobody wants to
Do
talk
we
to Bob.
I was going to say,
Cordelia's the one that controls him.
Ah, shit.
Yeah.
whoever does it, whoever gives him his control the first thing of the day, though, isn't it? because that was the real question: how to keep. Svid had to give him the command.
That's true.
Well, when we were gone, it's whoever
Oh, okay.
controls
Okay.
it first in the morning.
Okay, then
Or
Savid,
G.
shortly
Willie.
after that, Savid comes walking out. And as he comes walking around the corner, you hear him go, Bob, come on. We are all in here eating. Bob? Oh, Curse and Esmeralda and Cordelia and everybody. Oh, G. Willie and I, we are in here eating breakfast. You all should come join us. It is a nice spread. I have not seen this much food in a very long time.
Is Svid actually that calm, or is he like severely freaking out being here?
He seems that calm but very happy to see you.
Okay.
Okay.
Dude's been eating live frogs for 2 days.
Probably.
And when you guys walk, back into where the dining hall is, you G. Willie is in a chair, but he's like standing in the chair, reaching across the table, just grabbing anything and everything he can get his hands on and taking a bite. And if it doesn't taste good, he spits it out right there on the table and grabs something else.
Willie, gee,
He stops when he sees you.
How are you?
Curse.
Are you good? Yes.
Good.
Good. Listen, if you're going to try things, what you do is you eat the bottom of it. You try the bottom, and then if you don't like it, you can put it back, and then no one will know that you had any.
Try bottom. And he picks up a chicken leg and like holds it and
Yeah, you will like that, though. That is a good one.
he
You
just
can have
keeps
all of
eating it.
that.
You hear him crunching the bone too.
Yes, that is good. You are unhurt? Everything went well with you?
Savid Babai, we take wine to wizard. It go good. We take the wine stone. And
Yes.
I ride Bob like cowboy, and I the wine stone cowboy. And thank you, Kat. I appreciate that chuckle. I was hoping Danny would at least smile, but he was holding it back. Come on, Danny. The Winestone Cowboy. Come on.
It is okay. It is pretty good.
Okay. But
We will work on it.
we return Winestone. So he goes, yes, we returned it, and they were happy to see us return it. The elf was no problem putting him inside the tower, and when we got the message yesterday, it was a little alarming, receiving the message, but we put him back inside the wagon chest underneath. He did not exactly want to cooperate, but Bob made him cooperate. And he may have a broken leg, but he did cooperate, and not Bob. Bob does not have a broken leg. The elf most likely has broken leg. It bled a little.
Why did you take him out of the barrel in the first place?
Because we were told to take him inside where he cannot cast magic. Take him in the tower where he can't cast the magic, and we were to stay there till you returned. That is what you told us to do.
You could have kept him in the barrel. Just rolled it in.
We
I
know
thought
Bob's the one that lifted it, not you.
I thought we were to take him out of the barrel.
He's back in the barrel, though, right?
Yes, yes, he is in the barrel. He is in the barrel.
Very good. Very good.
Okay.
Very good.
Yes.
We will discuss this more in the performance evaluation.
Yes. Um. Anyway, the elf is outside in the barrel inside the wagon, under it where it belongs, and G Willie and Bob and I are here, and we are eating. We are eating, and this is a very very large castle. I have never been inside of it. I'm not sure why we are here. Other than we were told to come here and meet up with you. I didn't believe it at first, but yes, we are here.
Well, it's good that you're here
Yes,
and that he's back in the barrel.
yes. I did not. Why are we meeting here?
Really, this
You
is
get
just a spot to plan for before we go in face Baba Yaga.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. We are facing Baba Yaga.
We need you to bring her head to us.
Okay. Yes, it is still in the wagon, but okay. I will.
Oh, you already have it.
Yes, I brought the head of Jan head, the head
No,
from
no, no, no.
the tower.
What?
Oh
No.
no.
No,
Baba Yaga's, buddy.
Oh, we are taking Baba Yaga's head. Oh,
Yes.
Yes.
so I could have
Sweet.
left Jan's head at the tower.
Yes.
I brought Jan's head.
Who's Jan?
Could have left it Jan.
Jan is a Vistani who Van Richten he removed his head. Um, Esmeralda knows
Was the
Jan.
one. Yes, this was the head in the chest, correct?
Yes, yes, the head in the chest.
Yeah, we do not need that.
Oh, I brought it.
Okay.
And, looking out.
Before we go, Sabid, you might ask the big guy over there if he's got a better bow for you. Maybe one with some sights on it. Because we are definitely going to need you on this one.
Yes.
And to actually hit things on this one.
Okay.
Okay.
The Rahidin. Yes, I know Rahidin. I remember him. He is no longer considered a dusk elf.
Yes, go ask him for a bow. Or whatever weapon you would prefer.
No, I would prefer bow. I like the bow. So you want me, a dusk elf, to go ask Rahidin, who is no longer considered a dusk elf, for a better bow, for me to hunt Baba Yaga, who gets along with Rahidin and. Okay.
Yep.
I will ask him. Do you want me to do it right now, or do you want me to wait until we are done eating and then ask him? Or
Finish eating, but before we
Okay.
leave, definitely.
okay. I will. That is a strange request.
Sure, you've done stranger things, buddy.
Right.
Like
You, you,
running
you
up
just
and down stairs for people. Yes, I've done strange things.
watching another elf get shoved into a barrel.
He was not the dusk elf. He was an evil high elf who he erases brains and messes with people's memories.
Did it make you
How
feel
the
powerful though? When you guys did
Yes,
that?
yes.
racism,
I'm sorry. What
racism is
curse?
racism is an unbecoming look for you.
It is. I was. But he is. He is a high elf. I am a dusk elf, and there's a difference. Joe,
I
Joe, what
understand.
are you?
I I I don't remember. Hold on.
See, it matters not to Joe. She does not know remember her heritage. And you are Shatter Kai. You are a different type of elf. And Belivar, you are a drow. You are a different type of elf. And what are you again, Joe? Still don't know.
No, it's not pulling up.
Okay. But is
I
it
don't remember
really
what I did.
racism? It's it's racism, curse.
I think maybe a little bit. Everyone
Did
has a place.
No, I did not say he didn't have play. Usually it's why am I the bad guy here? Usually it's high elves who are bad. High elves are the racist
See,
ones.
that's
High
what
elves
I'm
think they're
talking
better
about.
than everyone.
You are stereotyping.
Stereotypes are for a reason. Dwarfs are always short. Gnomes are always smart.
No, I don't know if I can help you
The
anymore.
drow are always gray with white hair, and Shatter Kai like the shadows, and high elves are always higher and mightier, and wood elves they live in the woods and they're always archers, and the stereotype has happened for a reason.
There are always archers.
Usually wood elves they archers, not always.
Usually is a
Sometimes they
little different
druids.
from you. Always.
Sometimes they druids.
Now it's sometimes.
What? Well, when they're not the ranger, when they're not the archer type of person, they usually go druid. The wood elves are like the nature.
And if they don't, they're not as good.
They're not the stereotype. Why are you you're busting the balls? Why are you busting the balls?
Because I like you.
You say that. You say you're trying to make me better. I do not feel better.
Yes.
I feel bad. I feel worse. When you talk to me, I want to take long walk off of even longer pier.
But that is good, because if you took one off a short pier, then that would be bad.
Oh. You make me want
A long pier would
to run into arena and have someone cast fireball.
Who is Arena?
No, an arena, a large opening, a large area where you fight. Arena.
Just stick around, bud, and you'll get shattered eventually. One way or the other.
Yes. If I run into combat, Cordelia, she will cast shatter on me. That is what I should do. I should run into combat and get shattered.
I can cast Shatter on you if you want.
See, that is a friend. He is willing to shatter me right here and right now.
Or I can beam you with shadowy meteors.
I don't think I want that. Joe, what type of elf are you?
A drow.
You are half drow? Or full drow?
Yeah. Full drow.
I did not know that. I learned something new
So-
today.
We have a full drow and a half drow. Interesting.
And we have a Shatter Kai who does not get shattered. But we have a cat who does.
That is very good improvement already. That you don't see color.
That's because they are gray. They lack color. I am a dusk elf.
So
I am
gray
brown.
Gray is a color.
Gray is
is
oh, how is gray a color?
Was gray not the color?
The shade.
What
Yes,
happens
it is
when
a
you mix-
shade.
What happens when you mix white and black? Are those not colors?
How
Right,
how are
Color
you
is the
how are you
One is all of the
mixing?
colors and
What?
one is a lack of colors. So when you blend them together, it then becomes a shade.
This castle is a shade.
Well, gray is a shade, yes.
I do not know if that is true.
So is gray is not the color. Is gray is a shade, right?
Yeah.
I was right. I was, Curse. I was right. You hear that? Joe says I was right. I was right, Curse.
Just because someone agrees with you does not make you right.
Joe, was I right? I was right,
I
Joe.
believe you were right.
Okay. Joe believes I was right. That is all that matters. She was not picking on me like you do. Maybe in your world, in your mind, she does not want me to be better. Because you think that you pick on me because you care and you want me to be better. In your eyes, she does not want me to be better. Is that what you were saying?
I don't believe that at all.
I'm confused now.
I think you've been confused for a while.
Probably.
Have a muffin.
Okay. I will have a muffin.
Please
And he-
get us muffins. Strahd.
He picks up one of the muffins. What'd you say?
There's muffins at Strahd's.
This is definitely a
Wow,
different.
Strahd,
This is a different night, so they can be muffins.
Okay. I had to
Sunday
be
night is allowed to have muffins.
Wednesday night is no longer because somebody got tormented.
But you know what's not allowed ever, and that's blueberry muffins.
Yep.
We shall see.
But you know what? You know what? You know what he doesn't allow, and that's steaks. Come on, that was a good one.
How long have you been waiting for that one?
You're like, wow.
What about beef
Steaks.
steaks?
Nope.
Does he allow beef steaks?
No steaks. No steaks.
No.
Strahd does not allow
There's
steaks.
only 3 cows. You can't take one of the cows to make a steak.
I mean, Valaki had wolf steaks, but no steaks at Castle Ravenloft.
So he doesn't bring meat heads in?
No steaks. There can be cuts of meat, and there can be salami. What? There can be burgers.
burgers.
Yeah, just burgers. Burgers and brats and dogs. No steaks. You hear that, Kurz? There's dogs.
Does someone hate the salami?
Yes. You guys got anything else you want to accomplish for the night?
Out of curiosity, when is Tobias going to make a laser pointer?
We got flashlights.
Yeah, we do all have tactical weapons.
Yep. He just has to make one of those flashlights a finer point, and we can all keep Kurz busy.
Is there any crystals? We need some crystal, like from a chandelier.
I will say, as we are eating breakfast, I am going to be casting Identify on said dagger that I found and say, hey, while I am identifying stuff, this dagger, would anyone else
Mm-hmm.
have anything that needs to be identified that they may have found or something?
Don't think so.
Can you look over this amulet that I have? And
I could.
really all of these things that I got from uh, yesterday, because I don't know if I feel right about spending so much time with this equipment, knowing that they was given to me by this Strahd. I would hate for him to use that against me in some way, or maybe it is cursed. I mean, I would hate
I
to attune to it without knowing these things.
I will definitely look over them for you. Um, then like as he's eating, he'll be like casting Identify and so like doing the ritual casting of Identify to kind of sort of look over everything.
Okay, so your cold iron dagger.
Yes, sir.
Give me an Arcana roll to see how
All
much
right.
you actually find out about this baby.
Uh, okay. That's actually a 23 for once. I
Okay,
finally broke the freaking rolling
there you
11
go.
checks.
Good deal. You know it is called the
Yay.
Frozen Heart.
The Frozen Heart.
Yep, the Frozen Heart.
All right.
It radiates a faint, frosty aura. When you hold it, it
March.
does send chill down your spine. You do have to attune to it.
Uh, Radiates a faint frosty aura.
You give off the aura as if you were undead when wielding it. Not just having it on your person, but when you use the dagger, you give off the aura of being undead.
Okay.
Once per day, you can extinguish magical flames. And it is a +1 dagger.
Okay. Alrighty.
Got it?
Yes, sir.
And Kurz, you wanted him to check out the items that you were given by Rahadin.
Yes.
Just to make sure there was no curses or anything.
To see if there is no curses or if they can be used to scry upon me in some way.
No curses.
Understood. Back into the Baba bag. Thank you, Bedavar, for checking.
It is my pleasure.
Talon, give me 2 D10 rolls.
First one is 10. Second one is also 10.
Give me a different one. Different roll.
6.
Okay. So, the 2 items that Savid gets is the Bow of the Sky Hunter.
Sounds cool.
There is... how often is that? The bow is attuned. When you shoot an arrow, there's a chance to summon a bolt of lightning that deals an additional 2d6 lightning damage. Once per day, the wielder can invoke a Thunder Strike that deals 4d6 thunder damage in a 20-foot line, forcing creatures to make a Constitution saving throw or be deafened for 1 minute.
That sounds pretty awesome.
You can't be a sneak attack though, because the bow crackles with electricity, and when it does the thunder strikes, there is the sound of thunder. So it's not like he could sneak up and shoot somebody quietly. He also received 20 arrows of eternal flame, which only Belivar could put out with this cold iron dagger, because they're imbued with fire magic, and upon impact deal an additional 2d6 fire damage, and the target must make a Constitution saving throw or catch fire. Cool.
Very nice.
And if there is nothing else, children, what?
I will say.
What was that for? Why
was that?
Why is she doing that to us?
She's a hater. She's doing it to me.
No, I like you guys are fine. I don't like him.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I will say after Belivar identifies the dagger, he will look at Jothana and say, I think you might make better use of this than I will. And offers the dagger to her.
Okay.
All right. I could definitely do that.
And I will...
Can you make me the info?
Yes, I will be gathering... do you want me to make it on D&D Beyond?
Please.
Yes. I will have it made, and I'll post it in the Replacements Loot channel.
2 hours before next session.
No, it'll probably actually be done before that.
Right on. Well, hey, I hope you guys had a good time tonight. It's always fun telling dad jokes with y'all and hanging out and having fun on a Sunday night. It's the start of my week, and I appreciate you guys. I'll see you guys next Sunday, right?
Sounds good.
See you next time you're watching us. Bye. Replacements.
Peace out.
Tell the fans later.
Peace
Later.
out, folks.
Later.
Later.
Bye.